Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Wednesday, this December the 15th of 2021. I am your astronumerologist, Lloyd Strayhorn, here on Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. And as you see on the screen is the beautiful image of a beautiful lady that's going to be on in just a moment. But before we do that, like, share, and subscribe. I was told, like, share, subscribe, or push a button, thumbs up, whatever you'll do. Like, share, and subscribe. The sun is in Sagittarius, the forecast. The moon is in Taurus. It's an 8 universal month, all of December. It's an 11 universal week this week. So it's good to catch up and play with your ideas and jot them down because some ideas are going to be coming fast and fierce. And it's a 5 universal day today, which means this is a perfect day to make changes in areas of your life. With the guest that I'm about to bring on, Sister Queen Afua, we have been knowing each other for quite a bit. As women would say, we have a history. So let me get started with this. Okay. To the screen. There we go. Queen Afua, how are you? I can't hear you. Okay. She's going to be stepping away. And in fact, we was hearing her perfectly. Can we hear you? I got you. I know exactly what's going on.
Okay, good.
Okay, there we go, darling. How you doing?
Everything is well. We're finally here together. So, I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I say to you, beautiful lady.
Thank
You
you.
know, it's so interesting. Our paths are so in the same directions about where we started at,
Yeah.
how we evolved.
Hmm.
Talk a little bit about your journey, how you started. We started out at the Tree of Life bookstore on the corner of Lenox Avenue. Used to call it UCLA,
The
and
Tree of Life.
Tree of Life bookstore.
We
Yeah,
had a chance to talk the other day, and when you said, I knew you when you were a teenager. I said, "Oh, is that in the beginning?" And you were teaching. I
yes,
remember you teaching there, and you was a teenager. You was teaching, and you was teaching numerology. You was one of the
yes,
master teachers at such a young age. And then I said, "Well, Lloyd, did you also go? Because that was our learning center:
yes,
metaphysics, holistic healing, African culture. The Tree of Life was the place right on 125th Street,
yeah,
right?" And then I asked you another question. I said, "Well, Lloyd, were you at the retreat when we went upstate?" And that was one of the John Harris and Ruth
yeah,
together, all the healers. It must have been, well, I wasn't a healer at that time. I was coming in to my awareness. And I
yes,
was about 16, 17 years of age. And you already there. You and Dr. Moore and Kanye and
yeah,
all,
and John
that
Harris,
opened
all
up
of
my
us.
whole world. And so I'm just so grateful, of your work. And then we walked together with Random House. We,
Yes,
you recommended me to Cheryl. That I learned all this was like 48 hours ago. So I'm still vibrating on that level, so
and
we're
Sacred
gonna be
Woman
back
is still a
all the time.
bestseller. Sacred Woman is
Yeah,
still a bestseller.
yeah. So you be considered my homie or
No
Conrad.
question. No question.
Conrad and wellness and healing.
So now, what led you? Now, oftentimes when we go into things, it's because maybe as when we were young, we were ill or
Yes.
sickly. What
Hmm.
happened in your case, Queen of Four?
Well, in my case, I had chronic asthma, allergies, eczema from head to toe, headaches,
Really?
arthritis. I was a hot mess as a teenager. But that's what makes me so convicted because I knew if I could heal, anyone could heal and get well. So that's what led me. I was led to come to Harlem to begin to study about self. I began to, uh, and that's when we went on the healing retreat, and I met Dr. Moore and all the other healers, and I had an asthma attack when I got off that bus. All my illnesses kicked in because I was living a fast food, all American toxic diet, and it was killing me. That retreat is what really changed my life, and that was my first time really taking herbs, and it was called back then in the day vegetarian, not vegan. So I was
Right. That's
taking a
true.
vegetarian life. So all of that, and in 24 hours, all this mucus came out of my nose, my mouth, my eyes, everywhere, and that asthma never came back again. The eczema left, the hay fever left, all the issues left. But you know what I had to do? I picked up a book. Dick Gregory, Cooking with Mother Nature, was right there at that retreat. And I went home and I started to live the same life that Dick Gregory and his 9 children and his wife was living. and that and for 2 months of really focusing in and cleaning up my life and my diet, I was able to get rid of all those issues. And then I became convicted that if I can get well, let me go share this with others. And then I studied, became certified, and I guess they said the rest is history.
Yeah, and just to digress, the Tree of Life was also unusual. They had some of the most knowledgeable collections of esoteric books, and you were almost encouraged to, I'm not going to use the word steal, but you could borrow them and take them. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, but it was just a nice metaphysical learning center, and
Oh,
never been
it was
anything
the
like it.
only place in New York, in all the boroughs. It was the only place that we knew to go to. That was the hub.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
after all the conscious people, we merged together. Those who were just trying to learn about self, and those who were learning and were doing their work. We all came together right there, and that was a lot of that was my foundation.
And in the early 80s, that's when I came to WLIB radio. And
Yes.
about a year later, I was allowed to have guests. And one of my first guests was you and Dr. Phil Valentine. And,
Yes.
and that just opened up a whole vista of things, of guests and things of that nature, too.
And then 20 years later, you were there. You
Yeah.
came for a short run, but then they couldn't let you go.
Yeah. They actually,
Yeah.
when I went to WLIB, they had intended me to stay for 3 months, but it wound up being 20 years. But they knew the cycle that they hired me in, which is the success cycle, that made a
Mm,
difference. But
yeah.
I think it's very
Okay. It's the numbers.
yes,
Numbers in you.
yes,
Okay. We want to hear
yes.
more about that. Thank
In
you.
a success cycle.
Oh,
But you know what?
success.
This show is about you, because we're going to talk about all the things you're doing. In fact, once you had established your own health center, I would come out to Brooklyn for my enemas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just had it. I mean, just
Lord,
awesome.
I gave you a colonic.
Not you personally, one of your assistants.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always talk to you directly to schedule the appointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you were my go-to person. If I wasn't talking to you, I wasn't coming.
It
Okay.
wasn't going to happen. Yeah,
So
that center was extremely successful. I had a team of 8 people on staff. I had colon therapists, massage therapists. We had workshops, classes, food preparation. We had women's circles. We had the 21-day detox back then. Ralph Carter was with us back then. He would always be singing the healing songs. It was, and then for me, I was so excited. I would never forget our psychic retreat. Not it wasn't a retreat, but as our psychic fair.
yes,
And
yes,
I think I remember at 11 o'clock in the morning, it was 5 readers, master readers. And at 11 o'clock in the morning, I remember you gave a presentation for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And after that, I think you worked from 11 that morning until 12 midnight. They did not turn you loose.
yeah,
Every 15 minutes, the line was just coming all day long. They would eat their meals, they would talk to each other, they get in line and get their reading. And it was a phenomenon. It's always like that, Lloyd, out of whatever reason, because of all what you know, it's not for whatever reason, because what you know, your mastership and what you do, whenever you sit down, they line up. They line up and you give them such insight. And it's been like that for years. I got my insight. You let me know, what time it was for me. So I thank you for being able to serve us the way you
well, the
do.
feeling is mutual. Now,
Mhm.
you are working on a number of things, okay? And so we're
Yes.
going to switch over to that a second. So
Mhm.
you are working on a detox program that's coming up, right? This is it here. Can you
Yes.
tell us about it?
Mhm. I'm known for the 21-day detox program. It is a program for everyone, actually, whatever level you're on. And this is a new year, new you, 21-day detox. Now, some will come and do 7 days because they just want to get started, but most will come for the 21-day detox program. This is a perfect time to start the top of the year from Thanksgiving and the Christmas and then Kwanzaa. You might have overeaten. You put a little extra 10
True,
pounds on.
true.
This is a wonderful way to get clean, get clear, get strong, get fortified, get started again on your well-being. So I'm offering for the new year on starting the 7th, a 21-day detox. So those who are interested, whether you can come on board if you're a flexitarian, you can come on board if you're vegetarian, live food eater, 4 levels, or if you want to do total juice detoxing.
Let
Uh,
me ask you
I do
this
have, yes, yes, Lord.
before we go more into it. For those who, it's one thing when people just hear the word detox. What does that mean?
It means that you are releasing poisons from the body and those poisons are based mostly on the foods that we have been eating that are really not food. Food is what nourishes, rejuvenates, repairs the body. That's food. But if you're taking substance in that looks like food, but it's causing high blood pressure. Those who are eating a lot of meat and fried foods, you got to clean that out, and your pressure will go down. So food is medicine. So everything that with the issue, whatever the issues are, whether you have a weight issue, or women have womb issues, but that's another level of work, or high blood pressure, or stress that if you start to cleanse and release the old waste, whether foods, juice, the foods that you're eating is causing those issues. So you'll learn how to eat to live. I'll be sharing various healthy recipes with you during that time. You'll be able to be in community with others who are also healing themselves. And when you come out of that, you'll be at least 50%, 60% well, if not 100%. The younger you are when you start the healing, the quicker the healing. But
That
for
makes
those
sense.
who are mature, when you start cleansing, you start to feel younger and vibrant again. Or you always begin to wake up and you'll start to feel your vitality.
Now, this is a line of products that's coming out of the detox. Can you talk about that?
Yes, yes. This is the 21-day detox kit. And this kit has been out for the last 35 years. We cannot keep it on the shelf. I'm looking on my far right, and that's the breath of life right there. And of course, now many people are suffering from a lack of knowledge with their respiratory. So that breath of life is all plant-based. All of this is the organic. Take that in with your lime water in the morning and the evening, and you literally get a breath of life.
You mean
So
those
just
drops? That bottle with the drops?
that's a dropper.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the breath of life.
That is the breath of life.
That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, so those who have like what I had asthma and allergies and hay fever, with that plant, it will break up acts as expectorant. So you take that with lemon water or lime water or warm cider vinegar, and all of a sudden, in just 2 applications, you feel like you can fully breathe again. So during this time, people are constipated, not just in their colon, but in their head, sinus congestion, snoring, a shortness of breath. So that one helps to support. Then you have the colon ease and the herbal laxative. I was a colon thirster for over 15 years. So I know what it looks like when someone comes and cleans out that colon or if one is impacted. Cancer of the colon is the second highest form of cancer in the United States. So we get a
Wow.
chance to clean up our colon. We're not carrying around 5, 10, 15 pounds of old impacted waste, meat, dairy, white flour products, junk food, GMO, all of that causes havoc in the body. So we have to clean out our colons. And when you clean out your colon, you have a healthy prostate. So it can maybe help get rid of your impotency, erectile dysfunction, because it's really based on pressure from the colon sitting on the bladder. Colon and bladder over time sits on the prostate, and the same with the uterus. So that would help. Then you have right in the center of the formulas, you have your green light formula. If you wake up tired, irritable, stressed out, you're just malnourished. You need to nourish the tissues, the cells, the brain, the nerves, and the green light form will do that 3 times, 2 or 3 times every day for your 21 days. Will get you back your vitality, your memory, your energy. And then you have right next to the green light, the Master Herbal. For those that I want to change my diet, but I just can't seem to get rid of this craving. The cravings are in the
Yeah,
blood,
especially for sweets, right?
especially sweets. The sugar eats up the brain, the memory, the bones, that's arthritis, and the nervous system that's stress. So in 21 days, taking 3 cups a day, steeping it overnight, that will get rid of that craving of the sugar. And white flour products that convert into sugar. So that's a detoxer. And then on the far left, you have the clay. You have aches and pains, 2 or 3 applications. It's zinc, potassium, calcium, magnesium. So if you have pain in the knees, you could pack it over the knees during the week of your cleansing. If you have pain in the back around your kidneys, pack it over your kidneys. If you have pain, headaches, you could put it right by the headache, the temple. Wherever there's pain, it's just malnourishment. The clay goes right to the skin, goes into the muscle, the nerve, and the joint, pulls the poison out microscopically, and puts the minerals in. So you have 21 days supply of your formulas. On top of it, you have workshops and classes every week. There's a 90-minute presentation with all of that. Then we have during the week, you have a way to communicate and share your recipes. So it's a lot of fun. It's so exciting. And you're doing it together as a community.
Now, you
So
became the founder of the Queen of Four Wellness Institute, right? Is that part of this?
yes,
Now,
well,
how did you
actually, that is,
go
well,
ahead?
the detox in program is based on heal thyself to empower the people that once you start to take on responsibility for your well-being and you do it consistently, you can heal yourself. I'm myself, I can support you, and all the wonderful people in this work can support you, but you have to be the one to say, yes, I can. Yes, I'm willing. I want to change. I want a better quality of life. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to have extra weight on my body. And so these are things that we can manage ourselves. Go to your physician, but make sure nature also take care of you.
So, in other words, you're saying that the person has to take the first step.
Absolutely. And this is not, it's no better time than now. It's no better time than now. We got to most high, all those who made their transition during the corona virus and when it attacked, it took a lot of our family members.
Hmm.
Those who are still here, do not take your life for granted. You still have to take care of yourself. You still have to boost up your immune system. And if you have the knowledge, it's time to apply. But to all our families who have made their transitions, our ancestors now, we pray for them. We pray for us because they laid a foundation for us to even be here. So we're grateful. But yes, this is a time, 2022, name it and claim it. Right. And see, when you go through your cleansing, write down exactly what you want to see happen for you. And
Hmm.
as you go and you do the work, it's the law of attraction. You're going to bring it to you. You're going to like a magnet. You want healthy relationships, you got to detox. You want better communication, detox. You want prosperity, you got to clean up. So during this 21 day, call on what you want, put the prayer behind the cleansing and see it manifest. Top of the year is going to happen for you.
What happened? What about those who says or have a doubt that whether they can do 21 days? Because if you tell
Oh
a
no,
person
if
fast like
everyone
for
can,
2 or 3 days, they'll sometimes panic. When you tell them to detox, which is really clean the system completely, there's
yes,
this kind of resistance. How do you overcome resistance for those that have doubts like that?
um, I would say that start wherever you are. Most people are afraid they have to change too much. They're not ready to make such elaborate change. So I would
Hmm.
say to them, you don't have to do a lot of changes. What we're going to do is you're going to eat the basic foods that you really appreciate, but you'll eat less of it. When the
Ah,
sun goes down, you will make sure that you're having a vegetable juice in the nighttime or fruit juice or tonics. So you're just eating a little less. And then no fried foods. Bake everything. Bake and steam. If you have starch, a whole wheat bread or toast, or you have a sweet potato, have it in the middle of the day.
in
If
other words, don't eat heavy at night and then lay
yeah,
on it, right?
right, because that's where you put the weight on. You put the weight on at night because your body actually is slowing down and it's not processing, not physically nor emotionally. That's why people get more upset at nighttime, and people's fever will go up or also in the nighttime, and
Interesting.
people will have problems sleeping because the body is really at its lowest level. So, but if you're healing yourself throughout the day, then your evening becomes wonderful. You have a wonderful evening. You're very centered. You're very peaceful. You're starting to have better communication with your family. So things start to heal more at night, depending on how you was living during the day. So you could, those who are flexitarian, they're having chicken and fish during this time. They're just having one piece of chicken, remove the skin, and bake or steam it with a lot of greens and salads to broom it out. But everyone, whether you're starting out as a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced student of wellness, everyone will have the products. So even if you say, well, I can't do everything, well, you could put clay on your knees. You could take the Green Life formula and take that in once or twice every day. So these are things you could do.
What about frying? Could you? That was one of the things you said. No frying.
Well, when
What
you
if
fry
there was frying? What
yeah,
does
that's
that do?
dangerous. Fried foods, what
So,
it does is it clogs up the arteries. So I think there's a valve to the heart. If that valve is clogged up, just like in our pipes, in our sink, in our kitchen, if the
mm-hmm.
valve is clogged up, that water cannot flow through. If the valve in the heart is clogged up through the plaque of greasy foods, then what happen is the nourishment cannot get through the valve, which means the heart will be deficient, and then the
Mm-hmm.
heart can fail. Or if it's the valve right to the brain, if it's to the brain, then you will not be able to think, or you have brain fog, or you have depression, just because the valves are all clogged up. Your pipes, you got to
Yeah.
clean them out with lime water, with cider vinegar, with your Green Life formula, with your Master Herbal. These are ways to clear out your pipes so you have longevity, you have vitality. I did my headstand today, Lloyd, because you told me you did your headstand.
Yes, I did.
And
Yes, I
you
did.
keep your pipes cleaned up. And I said, I want to know your secret. You have there's some things you do in terms of your lifestyle that
Yeah.
absolutely works. And people need to be aware of it. I want to do a big shout out to Yana that's not right now.
Oh, yeah. So she gave
If,
you a shout out too, my sister. No
if
question.
I may, when I developed the 21-day kit 30 some years ago, she invited me to come to Philadelphia. I went on to Philadelphia with my team. We posted up at her house. She had 28 brothers and sisters who came in her living room. Her children were there. And I presented for the first time at her home the 21-day detox kit and the 21-day program. And I said, now listen, I'm coming this one time, get everybody set up. They knew how to do their products. I gave them samples, all of that. Everybody had their kit. And I said, I need what for you to do. I need you to give the meditations that you give every week to keep them emotionally and mentally together in their healing. And that's when and I, you know what I did? I said, now you are, you're the honorary ambassador of wellness. So we're the homegirls of Healing of
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
but she made reference of that on Monday when she was on the show, that she took it 30 years ago, but she didn't give
Yeah.
me the backstory like that. That's
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Thanks. I want to just let her know that I love her. I support her and thank her for all her medicine that she gave to all of the families. I saw people healing psychologically and emotionally. And I know it pulled on her because she had to be the vessel to carry them through. But I know from sister to sister, I love you. I love your work, and just keep moving strong on your journey. So that's my
You two
shout
are
out.
awesome women. That to me is this has been my most exciting week to have y'all back to back. Okay.
Wow.
I think it is really, really nice. Now, you know what's interesting? Because
What's
she
that?
had brought up your name on Monday when talking about the womb.
Mm.
Almost everyone I know, women, will talk. It's like your name associated with fibroids and whatnot.
Hmm.
Can you tell us about the importance of it? Because first of all, without the womb, we don't come through into this
That's
world.
it. That's it. Really. And so many women suffer from infertility as a result. But
Really?
it's a change of lifestyle. And the work is called Womb Care Love.
In fact,
And it's
didn't you developed something with that, right? This is it here, I
absolutely, yes,
believe.
this is the kid. This is the Womb Care Love kit that myself and my daughter Cherise, we both together, mother-daughter, we developed this kit. And it's really quite powerful.
Can you tell us
Women's
about them?
wombs, what's that?
I said, tell us about them. I see they're
Yes, yes,
positive.
yes.
Yes, please.
I want to give this as a gift to the women to let them know they should go ahead and order the kit. They can do a starter's kit at 7, or 28-day womb care kit. But what the goal is to break down to detoxify the womb. The issues that women are having is due to their diet primarily and their emotions and their traumas that have not been addressed. And so this is a lifestyle to help to release all of that. And one of the common things about not it, the statistics is really heavy on Black women, women of color. 90% of Black women are suffering from fibroid tumors or will at some point in their life. And that's
Really?
from age 30 up until age 50. And it's something that I'm going to demystify right now. And that is, what is a fibroid tumor in the first place? A fibroid tumor is crystallized mucus that gets trapped in the uterus. But what is this crystallized mucus coming from that we call a fibroid tumor? It's coming from what we put in our heart and what we put in our mouth, which also determines how we're thinking and what we are attracting. So dairy is deadly. You have to hug yourself. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for love, and you're looking for that ice cream, and you're looking for that cow's milk or that goat's milk. So cut that out or start cutting back, and then get it your plant-based calcium, which are your seeds, your nut milks, your almond milk, your sunflower milk, your pumpkin seed milk. You can learn to make it, and you learn it in our classes. And then for those women who are suffering from pain, so that's dairy, that's
You
making
mean pain in the womb
diet,
area?
huh?
You mean pain in the womb area?
Oh, that's normal. Most women are suffering from pain. And as a result, many of the young women are being told to go on birth control to arrest the pain. But the pain is still there and it still doesn't help many. And then the side effects of doing that as a young person on medication it could be dangerous over the years.
Well,
So
let
I'm
me ask you
saying
this.
that,
Go ahead.
mhm.
I mean, you got me thinking because I've heard a woman like said that she went for a procedure and they did a hysterectomy without clearing it. I mean, is this something
Yeah,
that?
well, that's a crime against the womb. So a woman going in for one thing and she thinks she's going in for one and she comes out without a womb. And I've heard a lot of those stories. So it's just that we have to take more responsibility for our womb. We have to take charge of our womb. My body, the motto of my daughter and myself is my body, my womb. That we have to take our wombs back. We have to be responsible. We have to eat foods that are aligned with nature. The pain is an indication that you are growing a fibroid tumor. The
Whoa.
number of days of your menstrual flow. It also will let you know that you're having some womb challenges. It could be endometriosis. It could be fibroid tumors. It could be even cystic breast, as above, so below. So simply said is that after a season, 12 weeks of coming into Womb Care Love, you will not have that womb pain. 98% of the women get rid of that pain, if not 100%, at least 80% of it. And in that time, the menstrual flow goes from 8 or 7 days, every 28 days, 1 day less. So 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 5 to 4, you're out of harm's way. The women, when they get through their 12 weeks of womb care love, the menstrual flow is maybe 1, 2, or 3 days, no clotting, no heavy bleeding, no PMS, and no mood swings. It's like a whole new person. A lot of times we are angry because our blood is so toxic. So when we start to cleanse, and I have a formula, it's a womb fruit julep. If you saw me on Red Table, I finally have it now where everyone can get the womb fruit julep. Jada Pickett, I shared it with. I had the blueberries, the raspberries, the blackberries, the cranberries. That is one of the formulas, and it will repair the bloodstream. Sometimes our womb issues are not just our own, it's passed down through the DNA, the bloodline. It could be from your mother's womb. What was she doing? What was her intake? And how did she raise you?
Mm,
Indication with the food is medicine. Did she do that or not?
hmm
What about your grandmother? So it's a womb line of what's happening in our families that's determining where you are right now as well.
Now, I want to put this on the screen again so people know, the women especially, about getting um, this for their wound care. So, can you
Yes.
start from the right and what that's about so people understand, our
Yes,
sisters
that
understand?
yes, for to my far right, that is the wound care love colon ease. The womb oftentimes is stressed and is displaced and is prolapsed. And that causes pain and stress and maybe an early hysterectomy.
Mm.
Right. So we want to prevent the hysterectomies. We want to keep our wombs all the days of our lives. So if the colon, the average woman will have 3 meals a day, but only will eliminate once for the day. That means at the end of 7 days, she has 14 meals backed up in her colon. If you have waste backed up in your colon over weeks and months, the colon becomes prolapsed because the colon will drop under the navel. It should be above the navel. If it drops under the navel, it sits on the
Ah.
bladder, so you have you're not able to function properly. So you laugh and you urinate. So because everything is starting to crush down. Then
Mm.
the colon and the bladder over years, it sits on the uterus. And so now the uterus is starting to peek out of the vaginal walls because of the prolapsing taking place. Now, this colonese, you take that in the morning with your lime water, and that will help to soften up. And I would recommend eat okra if you can 2 or 3 times, or take a tablespoon of flaxseed. But the flaxseed is also in our other formula. So that's the colon, that's the colonese that will help rectify that colon in a gentle way.
So
You
what's the one next to it?
hmm
So that's the one on the right. What about the one next to it? These are, and then the one on the far left. It looks like that might be a cream or something.
Yeah. Oh, you're so wonderful. Yes. Well, the three in the middle. So that's your nutritional formula. All disease is really two things: malnourishment. I cover 40 womb issues when I teach. It's either malnourishment or toxicity. So with the womb care love nutritional formula, that helps to rejuvenate, refuel the uterus, so you have a young uterus. So you don't have to, and some women who are not ready to have babies in their 30s, they can have a baby in their 40s when their uterus becomes revitalized again. So that's where the womb care love nutritional formula comes in, right?
Uh-huh.
And you'll take
Uh-huh.
that twice a day. You have your womb care love herbal formula to detoxify the uterus. So the mucus that may be crystallized inside there that we call a fibroid is crystallized mucus. It starts draining out. So women start getting drained, like if they have a cold in their nose, they drain out. Well, there's also a drainage that has to happen in that vaginal region to to soften up that fibroid and pass it away. And then you have your womb fruit julep. The womb fruit julep is going to build up your blood, so you have power and vitality. So many women are tired and lifeless, and really are all worn out because of the choices that we have made, and maybe some of the relationships we've had that we got exhausted from. So by taking these formulas, you will start to be revitalized mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Now, that cream that you call,
Oh,
that
clay.
is rose clay.
Ah.
Rose clay. And then they put it directly over their womb if they have womb pain. And that womb pain is not going to last too long. I tell you, come with me for get a 28-day supply. And by the time you get to the next menstrual flow, you could put on your calendar. Wow, my pain is gone. I can't believe it. And then also, it's good if you have a vaginal discharge and you want to pull that out of the uterus. You'll get a cotton swab, a biodegradable cotton swab, put a half a teaspoon, and you can insert that. And that also helps to pull out bacteria and congestion in the uterus. So those are all your forms. And it comes with a lovely little card. And this is Womb Care Love. I have in here how to use the formulas. I have a morning womb care lifestyle. I have a midday lifestyle, what you should be doing, and then in the evening time. So now you have your prayers in the back, and that's enough with the kit and your menu plan and the lifestyle. You have enough to move forward. Now, those who need more help, they can call for consultation, and I would definitely love to support them on a one-on-one basis. Some people are really nervous; they don't want to just get a kit by itself. They want some hands-on and some hands around and some coaching, and we're here for that. Mhm.
I do want to ask you this. I want to go back to the detox products. Is
Okay.
this for men also, dear?
That is definitely for women and men. Yes,
Women
the
and men. Good.
performance is for women, it's for men, it's for young, it's for the elder, it's for even children, if you know how to apply it. So it's a family kit, right? And it covers 103 diseases, issues.
What?
Yes, it does. It was designed that way. You know why? Why? Because all disease, we can, when I teach the Emerald Green practitioners training, I show them that you can have five different, and this is the card that goes with it. It has its own personalized card of your menu plan, of your
Hmm.
morning, midday, and
Hmm.
evening work to do, and then how to use the formula. So I try to make it as simple as possible. So no matter where you are, what level you're on, you can feel confident that you can get through this. But definitely this is a family package. So this is a wonderful way for families to start the top of the year. Husband and
That
wife,
makes
best
sense.
friends,
Yeah.
sister friends, mother, daughters, everybody can take part and do it together so that the family gets well. I'm gonna tell you why it's so important to do it as a family. If you don't do it as a family, the family's gonna make some food, it's gonna tempt you. You want everybody to come on the same page so that you can progress. It's a wonderful thing when people are not getting sick as they get older, when they can actually get better with age. That's why I'm so impressed with you, because you're getting better with age. That's all I know.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you. Now, at the bottom of the screen, how can people reach out to order these products from you?
Well, you can actually register today and have hands on and hands around. It's www.queenafua.com. You can register today and start to prepare. We will be sending out to all those who register how to prepare these next few weeks yourself. So you start to eat a little bit healthier. So you don't just jump and crash into it. And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
prepare your home. There's some things you can do to fortify you, your home, and your family. So when you start, you don't fall off. You're successful. You just keep
That's
going.
interesting. And so, in other words, everything is relative from not only taking it, but also making sure the home environment is conducive to move
Oh,
forward with this.
absolutely. Absolutely. The home is your healing center, it's your wellness center. The wellness center is in it's there are four primary rooms, and I teach that in the training.
Really?
Your kitchen, that's not just a kitchen where you put fried foods and you freeze your food and you run and you go, right? It's a place where that is your medicine. So you learn how to set up your herbal apothecary. You have your mullein, you have your dill, you have your sage. And we talk about that as it's medicine. It tastes good, but you also get a healing when you put it into your soups or your salads or your dressings.
Interesting.
We talk about
Interesting.
the hydrotherapy room, and that's where you do your internal and external washing and cleansing, letting go of a lot of emotional baggage right in that room where there's water therapy. And then in your living room, that's where you do, and I laid all out for you. This is where you do your exercises, your family meetings. That's where you educate, do your spiritual practice, your movement therapy. All that's in that living room, so you feel alive. It's not just a TV room. And then your bedroom is that's your regeneration chamber where you really knit. When you sleep, your body should be knitting. So every time that you have a full day of wellness and you're eating healthier foods, making healthier choices, having 2 salads a day, having a fruit bowl every day, drinking your water every in the morning, midday, living this natural lifestyle. When you go to sleep in the evening, you're knitting. When you wake up the next day, you're on higher ground. And it's all frequency. The higher the frequency, the more excellent the health. And I
But
teach all of that in that training.
you know what? I tell you, Queen of Four, I never
Yeah.
thought of a house, my house like that. That these things that we take for granted, our kitchen, our bedroom,
Mm,
our living room, our bathroom, that
yeah.
they are centers. Can you just touch on that again for somebody that want to take notes again? Start with the kitchen.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to give acknowledgement to Dr. Benjamin. Dr. Benjamin said this statement, which really got me so charged up furthermore about it.
Hmm.
Dr. Benjamin, she was the right hand to President Obama. She headed medicine in the United States.
Hmm.
And so she said, healing is not only done in your hospitals, in your clinic. She said, healing is also done in your home. I said, whoa, that's a loaded, beautiful statement. She said, so that makes it, everything I say is like, it's gold now. The kitchen is that's where your food is medicine. And everything you eat and drink is going to get rid of that high blood pressure, that stress, that anxiety, that premature aging, that poor memory is in the food that you prepare.
In
So
that
that's
kitchen.
now your nutrition kitchen. That's your pharmacy. That's where your apothecary is. You got to learn
Interesting.
this. So
That's
your family's not a sick family. Your family's a well family. And even if the family's not ready right now, and you have to be the lead in it, eventually they said, wow, whatever my mother, my father, my sister, my best friend is doing, I need to join them because they're not having the same issues I'm having. It's coming from that room, that nutrition kitchen pharmacy, and they
Mhm.
shop healthy and they proper food combination and when to eat that food and when not to, and have your tonics and your juices. All of that is a part of the training. Now, the other room is your hydrotherapy. It's not, I don't call it a
It's the
bathroom.
bathroom. Yeah.
Rename it so you can claim it. That is your hydrotherapy room. That's where you take your healing baths. Some of you may take enemas, some of you may do the neti rose cleanse. I show you that. I give the demonstration of that. And some of you can take a shower, a healing shower. It's fantastic. We're made up of 75% water. So when we circle ourselves of water. We bathe in the water. The water is flowing through our bodies, flushing out all waste. It revitalizes us quickly. And if anybody's angry and stressed in the house, if they can get into that tub of water, they would be rectified. And please,
Interesting.
those who have been asking me about my bath, I will have a special bath for the new year. So please, stay tuned. So that will help to further support you in your hydrotherapy room. Then you have your bedroom, which is your regeneration chamber. And that's where you do your inversion therapy. Inversion therapy is an ancient African posture for bringing your soul to life, which means it's bringing your vitality back. So if you want, that's why you do your headstands, Lloyd, because that is bringing your vitality back. So I have a modified headstand. It's a slant. We put
Hmm.
it at the foot of the bed in your your bedroom, your regeneration chamber. Put your legs on those pillows, lay down flat, do your full lung and breast and chest and heart breathing for 5 or 10 minutes. And all that energy that you may have been given to the world, it comes back to you in the evening. And you do the same thing when you wake up in the morning. That will give you such rest and such healing. And those who are numbing out in the pre-stroke level, your face is numbing, your fingertips are numbing on your left side, that's pre-stroke. All that plaque from the grease and the meat has caught up to you. So if you
Mm.
take some lime water at nighttime, lay down in that position, do your deep breathing, you're gonna start clearing out all your pipes to your brain, to your heart, to your kidneys, to your reproductive organs, and that's how you return to your power. And then you have your not a TV room, a real live-in room, and that's where you do
Ah, I got you. I got you.
and your room yoga dance for the women. So now you have a wellness home. And everyone, I want you to begin to set up your wellness home. So when we start on the 17th of January, your house is all set up, right?
Wow, that's deep.
And you won't go back. Your house is on a high frequency, and you're going to maintain it because you feel so excellent in your well-being.
Actually, what you just said is like golden. That is like looking at your home in a
Yeah,
whole nother way, a
yeah.
whole nother
A
perspective.
wellness home. There's nothing like a wellness home. It's not where you just go to sleep and grab and go, but every place you look in your home revitalizes. You can't wait to get home. Home is where the heart is, but home is where the wellness should be too. And that keeps your heart healthy and your life healthy and your spirit very positive. When you start thinking like that, then you'll get empowered. So many people are afraid because they feel like they're losing their power. But if when you go home, you get extra power. You can't wait to go home, and you can't wait for your family to really tap into the same thing. Meanwhile, you have your master herbal on the stove, ready, steeping overnight, and then you have your juicing, you make your fresh vegetable juices. So some of you are stressed out, you may take the kidneys. If some of you are having kidney issues or some kidney pain, you'll learn to make cucumber watercress parsley juice. Some of you who are feeling all stressed out and your skin is breaking out, you'll start to take your celery juice and your chard. Some of you who just need more strength and your bones are brittle and you want to return those bones back to power, you don't want a knee replacement or a hip replacement, you'll use a half of a turnip with your kale and your other dark greens. So when I talk about food as medicine, when you're drinking or eating, everything you eat, it serves you and it builds you up. So if you're feeling old and depleted and exhausted, and some old people in their 20s, the healthy choices will make you feel young and vibrant all the days of your life. We have choices.
Well, I need to, people chimed in. First of all, King Simon said hi to both of us. That's our buddy.
Oh,
You know
King
how that
Simon,
is. Okay.
greetings.
Now, there's some questions that women are sending in. One asks, what do you do for a dry vaginal
Well,
dryness?
yes. You know what that means? It means you're dehydrated. Most people are dehydrated. And
Oh, that means
dehydration
increase the
happens.
water intake then.
That's all. It takes 60 ounces of water, room temperature, alkaline, and in the morning, again in the midday, again in the afternoon, and again in the evening time. Also, by taking the colon E's or the wound care love colon E's or the colon E's from the family package that of the Heal Thyself brand, you'll take 1 or 2 tablespoons of that with some lime water, juice a lime or two, put that in some warm water, and that will help to lubricate your vaginally as well. Mhm.
Now, here's another one. It's on the bottom of the screen. Queen Afua, I started using your products, have your book. Would love any quick tips on starting early, starting early menopause at 41, and my daughter with severe cramping and cycles at age 11. Are you serious? Really?
Yes. You know what? You're going through premature aging. Let's reverse that. You don't have to have that. Just do a checklist. Are you eating? So you ask yourself and put it down. I'm eating meat. That will help to age you very quickly. The more meat, the heavier, the more menopausal stress. Also, that means you might having hot flashes. So you're eating foods that the body is not processing. You have to cool your body down. You can take lemongrass for that. You could take our womb fruit jula for that. So you have to clean up. It's years. One of the things I do in my classes, I said, you do the math, and it blows people all the way. I say, okay, let's just look at how much you've been eating over the years because disease doesn't come overnight. It comes over time. And so
Interesting.
I'll say,
Interesting.
how much meat are you having for the week? The average person say, oh, maybe 5 times. Okay. And then how the 5 times for the, so you adjust meat 20 times for the month. Okay. Now, how much of that is a year? So no, that comes to about 140 ingestions for, I'm doing the math, 140 ingestions for the year. And they say, well, how old is she? She's 40 years old. Okay, so let's look at. I'm going to go on an average, and I'm going to tell you 16, 4, 5. So she's taking about 5,600 ingestions of meat. Now you add that
Whoa.
number to the dairy that clogs up all the arteries in all your systems and causes the tumors, and then you add that into sugar that depletes you and takes all your nutrition out your body, and then you add that into the white flour products that clogs up your system and dries out your system. Now, all of that, the average person by the time they're 40 over their years, the lifetime, has ingested about 40,000 ingestions of toxicity. And that's why she's going through early menopause. So one more cake, it throws her all the way there. But you know what? She could also reverse that. But in order to reverse that, because that's premature aging, the body's getting old quickly. In order to reverse that aging process, she's got to start having a plant-based lifestyle. So she needs to join this healing because her daughter having her menstrual flow at 11, the daughter's probably saying,
Yeah. And
food,
cramp.
hamburgers and French fries and soda and all that pollution. And many families are feeding. I remember I have one student would come, he came to see me. He said, my mother used to say, so who, I can't say the name, but she said, who would you like to have tonight? And she would mention 3 fast food restaurants. I would say no names. 3 fast food, would you want this one, or that one? And she'd come home as a loving mother and feed her children death every night. So by the time he was 18 years old, he ran away from home. And he ran over
Wow.
to me. And he said, Queen, I need to heal myself. I've been eating wrong all my life and I want to change. He actually helped me to edit and clean up Man Heal Thyself when we first brought it out. So I'm just saying that we are suffering due to a lack of knowledge of self.
Now,
And
is
once you
this
get this knowledge, and then you are starting to cleanse without being stressful. When you clean up, you don't have to be stressful and feel like you are depriving yourself of something. When you start to clean and rejuvenate, you are actually loving yourself. You're giving care to you. You have to have a new attitude about
well,
yourself. So the healing does all of that.
there's so many people that have said hello from Jennifer Kirkland. Hello to the both of us. And then we have one lady here, Betty Jenkins. She says she's been listening to the both of us since the 80s. So that means we kind of been around a minute, huh?
Well, she's okay. She's been around herself. Kudos to you for longevity.
Wow. And this one says, love your energy. Yeah, that's you.
Thank you.
And
Love you too.
another one person said, salute to the family. And here, this one says, thank you, Queen. Will this kit help if you have several large fibroids? Good question.
Mm-hmm. It's well, you've just been eating, it's probably in your DNA. If you ask your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, they probably have fibroids, and maybe somebody had a hysterectomy or two in the family. They didn't tell you because there's a lot of shame around our womb. We don't want to talk about what has happened to us, so it keeps happening to it's passed down then to the next generation. So if you have large fibroids, you've just been eating toxic for a while. You need to come on the journey, join us, and to Wound Care Love. We have in January, we have a 2-day virtual retreat where you can be a part of that. We have 3 or 4 days on a Saturday, and then on a Sunday you get for those who want to go ahead and get their kit for the top of the year and do the Wound Care Love 2-day retreat. You can join us. So just check the website, go ahead and register. You don't have to keep living that way because you're suffering. It is not just a fibroid. If you have a fibroid, you probably have 3 or 4 other issues. You probably have some respiratory issues. You probably have some mood swings.
Interesting.
You probably have some
Interesting.
headaches. So your whole life is about to shift as as you come forward for 2022.
Now, the person at the bottom of the screen says, can the clays be taken internally, Queen Afua?
Well, how I tell them to take it internally is to put on a cotton swab. Depends on what you're using it for. It's because it is a food. It's plant-based. It's zinc, calcium, potassium, magnesium. So when you take in those minerals, you are strengthened. That's why people suffering from debilitated bones and joints, they will see a major shift after about 3 applications of the clay.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So you can go. I know she's asking how to use it. Well, you could check the website. I go over it. But you have the gauze. You put a tablespoon of clay on. Where do you need it? And sleep with it. You'll be new the next day.
Now, Queen T at the bottom of your screen says, I wish I would have known this before I got a hysterectomy. I felt I could have taken any more, or maybe there's something I'm reading in it wrong or whatever. But when doctors, let me ask you this: when a doctor tells a woman she should take a hysterectomy, do you mean there's no other alternative? Is that what they're trying to say?
Well, that's allopathic medicine. That's because they don't know how to tell one how to live and shift their lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that actually prevents a tumor from growing or have suffering from endometrial. It's a lifestyle. So if they make the lifestyle shift and they still work with their physician, the physician will be able to tell them, wait a minute, you're doing so much better. Your tumor's shrinking, your blood pressure's down. They'll start to see a shift. So they don't have to decide, well, I'm not going to do medicine because I'm going to do holistic. You can bring them both together because it's going to take a while to make that shift anyway. And the doctor may have you on medication. And I'm not telling you to come off or on. I'm not prescribing. So the doctor will then say, I see you have improved. I started working with Dr. Bernard Sheridan in Brooklyn just by that way. And I never tell anybody to come with their medication. The doctors do. She said, what's happening? Who is this Queen Afua? I got to meet her. And I wanted to meet a medical doctor who would support my work. So I came over to Grace Family Practice, got off the elevator. I saw this wonderful woman that was standing there, her stethoscope on her neck and her lab jacket. And we just embraced each other. And we have been embracing each other for the last 10 years. And I came and I did volunteer work at her clinic for 1 year. And she gave me 12 topics. She said, I want you to speak this month. And that was to her patients and to her staff. She said, speak this month on high blood pressure. Okay. And I gave a 90-minute presentation. Okay. This month, talk about fibroids. This month, talk about diabetes. And it was 12 of the topics that became a book called Circles of Wellness. And then I would have a food preparation class after the class. And she carried all my products at her nurse's station. So, and then at the end of the year, I said, Dr. Sheridan, I did my volunteer work. Will you help me with the clinical tests? So she did the clinical test me for 12 weeks. We had 28 students.
Mm-hmm.
of my patients, of my clients, and they went on the cleansing. They used all the formulas that everybody else has now. They used the wellness charts. They set up their wellness home, and the report is written in this particular book. So let the record show that we can, if we come in alignment with nature, that we can heal ourselves. I'm not healing anyone. I teach everyone how to heal themselves
Well, I was
naturally.
going to say, so thus it is heal thyself.
That's
That's
why it's called Heal Thyself. That's the
yeah.
product line, Heal Thyself.
Well, let me tell you this. Earlier this year, I had the pleasure of joining you there in Atlanta. For
Wow.
its Ascension. What is Ascension? I mean, the women there were just not only just beautiful and glowing and vibrant. How long you been doing this?
I've been doing this for over 4 decades.
Really?
Sacred woman is a phenomenon. But this is our time. Women of color, this is our time to come back on our seat of power. This is our time to come back to our thrones, our queendom, our divinity. This is the time of the healers where she's waking up and she started to take her rightful position as the healer of her home, the healer of her family. And we do it through the gateway. So women and also the women are becoming entrepreneurs, they're becoming independent, they're starting to attract prosperity. Meanwhile, they're getting their husbands healthy, their children healthy, the elders of their family. So we're on the rise. So we have what's called the ascension, which we'll be having, and that's for but this time it's not it's sacred women are taking the ascension. And also we have Man Heal Thyself graduates,
That's
wellness
what I want
warriors.
to put my 2 cents in because there is a portion just for the men. And the
Yes,
men, the testimonials they made for the impact that the women had
yes.
on their lives, I think every man should have that as part of their experience. I mean, it was just the most touching thing, emotional thing to see these
Mm,
men connect and understand the importance of the women and how they were taught and how what it means to them and the
mhm.
raising of the family. I'd never seen anything like that. That was just an amazing, amazing experience for me.
I would say, Lloyd, you saw it in the 60s in your mind's eye. That's what Harlem was all about when we came to that healing center. The seed was planted. It was planted in all of us for those who can endure. So the time I held on to the vision because that was our freedom time. That was the time we started to love ourselves as African people, African born here. And so now, held captive, we're getting our freedom. We're getting our just due. And we're not waiting for anyone to do it. We're doing it ourselves. So we could, as Marcus Garvey said, up you mighty people. You can accomplish what you will. And we are moving up. And so families are healing. Husbands, wives, children, and elders are all healing. And
You know
so
what? You sound
that's what
just
we're
like the
doing.
Leo. You are the
Huh?
Leo. I says you are a true Leo. And in fact, Marcus Garvey that you quoted from was a Leo himself. Now,
Oh, I didn't know he was a Leo.
yes, he was. April the 17th in the 1800s.
Oh,
So,
yes, of course. The 17th, of course. Yes, Marcus Garvey, the freedom fighter. My father was a Garveyite.
Malcolm X's father was a Garveyite. Martin
Are you
Luther
kidding?
King's father was also a
What?
Garveyite.
Give
Yes.
that history. Give
Yeah.
that
See,
history.
that's one
Thank
of the
you.
things when you read. Okay, that's why you have all these. That's why you see all these books behind me. It's not just for show. It
Of
is
course,
to
yeah,
study
we were a
and
man of
learn
wisdom.
and connect the dots. Now, speaking of books, tell
Oh,
us.
I want to say thank you, Lloyd. Thank you for being one of the juggernauts in Man Heal Thyself Wellness Word. Those men, they were so with you, and you trained them and you taught them in that class. Thank you so much. And they
You're
always
welcome,
say
dear. You're
Man Heal
welcome.
Thyself Wellness Salute. Yes, thank you. Thank you for
Now,
training the men.
one of the things is you said that there's a department store that's purchasing your books. In other words, they can go into the store and get your books in the store.
Yes. Well, you can get them in the stores, you can get them online, you can get them through my website, all the books. The book that cannot stay on the shelf is Sacred Woman, A Guide to Heal the Feminine Body, Mind, and Spirit. Heal Thyself is a classic. It's been out for 35 plus years, and that book is still moving and selling, getting people in alignment with their wellness. And then we have Man Heal Thyself. That book, we co-authored that, myself and my son Supernova, and that's wonderful. I have another project. The
Is
books
this
are
it
like my
here?
babies. Huh?
Is that the book right there on the screen?
This is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is my first time actually seeing it. It's being debuted today. Wow. Thank
Tell
you
us
for
about
believing
this
in
book,
me.
dear. Impeccable Listening.
Yeah.
Act, ask, and listen. What is that about?
It's about our journey of self-realization. That is what it is. It has come clear to me that that's really what it is. When I think about impeccable listening, I was in, we're all here with what's happening on the planet, with the whole everyone is going through the same thing on some level. And so a lot of pain, a lot of fear, a lot of hurt, a lot of stress. When I think back, I said I was getting ready to have a healing circle with four women. One was Laura London, which we all know. One was Layla Delia, Vibrate Higher, those who have her book, my
Mhm.
daughter-in-law. One was India, my spiritual granddaughter, and then Nipsey Hussle's sister. They call her Baby Hairs. And I
Mm,
asked 2 days before they came, I said, what would it take, Most High? I always have these conversations with Most High. I'm always talking and having a conversation. What would it take to end suffering? I want to get to the core for me. And what came to me was this: impeccable listening. And those are the first four women that I shared the concept of impeccable listening.
interesting.
And whenever I would share that concept, people they would like they would look up and say, "What did you just say?" And they would catch to it. And I know why, because I know that when I impeccably, that means absolutely heard what I was to hear. First, I had to ask the question: Most High, how? What is it? When is it? How is it? And then I had to be prepared to listen, fine tune my inner hearing, and then to move on it. If you get stuck at any of those ways, then you're going to have some issues. You're going to have breakdowns. You're going to have misunderstandings. You're going to have financial concerns. You're going to have a physical war, emotional family war, because you're not listening. The Most High, there's a song that came out in 1990. What is it? No, no, no. 1969. Thank you so much. Yeah. Always saying it. 1969, the creator has a master plan.
Yes, yes,
Bonding. That was the
yes.
time then, yes?
I
I
remember.
have been playing that song ever since. The creator has a master plan for us, but why are we still having such a hard time on the earth? Because we're not listening, we're not paying attention to what we hear. So I then had to think back when, okay, there was a point where impeccable listening started coming to my life. And that's when I went on that mountain, when we all went to that retreat, and the
Yes.
asthma kicked in and I got off that bus. Because I started thinking back. I couldn't breathe. I was scratching like I was a junkie. I was stressing emotionally. I didn't know what to do. I didn't bring my medication with me. Everything kicked in. Now, in that kick in, I had to ask a question. I was desperate. I didn't know the people I was with. I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to have a pump to breathe. So I said, Most High, what am I going to do? And as soon as I asked a question, it came through. I looked to the left. I saw a bowl. I was in the cafeteria, and I put my suitcase down. I saw a bowl of grapefruits and oranges and lemons, and I went straight to them. And I started to eat of the grapefruits. And then there was some rose hips tea that I learned later that was the vitamin C. And then I took the tea and I took the lemon and I put the lemon inside of the tea. And then I had the grapefruit and I sliced up an orange. That was my first prescription. And I was listening and didn't even know I was listening.
All
And
compliments of Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. That's it. And Dr. Moore was talking about herbs as a great form of medicine. And we have to get back to the earth. We have to get back to the garden. And that night I sat up. The heat from the fire was coming to my lungs because I couldn't let it. I would have had it, my lungs would have collapsed. The next day, I detoxed. I didn't know I was detoxing. Mucus came out of my nose, my mouth. It went for an hour. I came out. That was my last asthma attack. That was my very last. Why? Because it was impeccable. Listen, I was desperate. And listen, nobody else can tell me. I had to hear it for myself. So when the virus kicked in, when 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 it kicked over in around March, when it got really hot, strong, it was at the end of March, the beginning of April. Well, there was a 21-day detox I had everyone to go on for those who wanted to boost up their immune system and get and recover through their respiratory system, because the asthma was my specialty because I got over it. And I was a free will. And for every day for 28 days, I did social media. I had guests come on the call, and it was fantastic. Now, when I completed, I got a phone call right after that. And I got a call from Black Girls Rock, Beverly Bond. And she said, Queen, we don't know what to do in our community. The women are stressing. Everything is going haywire. We're scared. I said, I'm so glad that you called. She was doing impeccable listening. She called.
Mm,
And
mm.
she said, just come on for an hour and just tell us whatever you think that's going to help us. I was so fired up. I was so charged up. I said, these are just, these are the herbs, these are the plants, this is the bath, this is the breathing. I done ran it down so quick and so fired up. And then bam, it was over. The hour was done. She called me right back. She said, whatever you did, everybody's fired up. You got to come back. So it would kind of remind me of what happened when you was on the radio. I was supposed to come 1 hour. That she kept me there for 5 months. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
doing more workshops because I was helping the people here. That was impeccable listening. So right
That's
now I'm
amazing.
teaching for the first time. I'll be teaching. Well, for those who get the book, now the book will be
Now,
out.
when is the book scheduled to come out?
The book is scheduled to come out the first day of Kwanzaa. It's going to be the
On the
26th
26th.
of this month,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that sets off Kwanzaa. And those who come and get that book, and from now you could actually go ahead and get it now, and then it's going to send out. It's an ebook. My daughter told me I need to do an ebook, and this is me. This is my first time. I have never done an ebook before, and I've never did. This book took 60 days to do. I take always years, but everything just came out. Boom. I was directed and instructed. I also show people how to read themselves, how to see if your intuition is what level is your intuition on. What level is the brain on? Is it on grid? Because when the brain and the first eye, the ucha, is open, and you clean up the elements, then you're in tuned up as a tuned up instrument. And when you hear it and you do it, it happens. It's when you ignore it. You may ask, but you don't really follow up. And the more that some people ask, but they don't want the answer. They're not ready for the truth. So they kind of like numb themselves out for the real deal, because the truth means you're gonna have to make some shifts. And you best may not be ready to make a shift. So you might have to suffer just a little bit longer until
Yeah.
you're ready to submit to your device.
Now, I want to ask you this now. For people that want to order the detox products, the products for the womb, they go to queenafua.com. Is that
That's it.
correct? Let me show this banner
Queenafua.com.
again so people get this straight. Okay, it's right here. All
Yes,
righty.
you can go. You can do everything today. You can do it right now. You can do it. You can go ahead and connect. And if you have any problems, we will support you. If you're not sure which program you should take, what will be best for you, then you can call us up. You can email us, and then we'll give you hands on and hands around guidance.
Well, question just and before we
Yes.
do this now, how do people sign up for this event? The start of the detox.
Well, the
Do they-
detox is just registration. You could just come on, you could register, and then tomorrow you'll be sent out all the preparation information that you need to get you moving forward. So you go ahead and register now, and then we have a few weeks now to prepare your home and prepare yourself. Get your juice out, get your blender, get your stainless steel pots out, get your strainer for your tea, start doing some of your shopping. So there's some work to be done that's going to get your house as a wellness home. So you can start now. The same thing in terms of your kit. We're going to have the 2-day retreat in January, but you can start with your kit now, and all the instructions are there. In terms of impeccable listening, I asked the Most High, the top of the year on the 3rd, I'm going to be doing an impeccable listening free session for those who get the book and want to know how to really do it. I'll give you an introduction to that. So go ahead, and I use the 9 because I'm in that. Am I in my 9 time? Tell me, Lord, where am
Well, actually, you are absolutely correct. You are entering a 9 personal year, a year of fulfillment, a year
I?
of
I'm
being
entering into a 9
fulfilled.
personal year.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, this is an 8-year power cycle. But before, I mean, listen, I always say I'm going to try to keep an hour. I lied.
Okay.
I ran over, but here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Just hold on 1 second, because what I want to do is let people know that on next week, first of all, please support this beautiful lady right here, Queen of Four. Buy her products, detox, and look at your home in a different way.
Mhm.
I never thought about it like that, but it just the change of name took on a change of attitude about the home.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's amazing of how you do that, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that's nice. But I just want to let people know that on Monday, this this coming week, I have a very special guest. Perhaps you may have heard of him. His name is John Edwards. He used to have Crossing Over, where he's a psychic medium and he deals with people who have transitioned. He's going to be my guest on Monday, and that's the 20th. And then on the 22nd, I'm going to have Brother Miguel Rosario, who is going to be a tarot reader. He's going to be reading you through the tarot. So Monday the 20th, it's going to be John Edwards. And then on the 22nd, it's going to be my buddy. And by the way, I met him, Queen of Four, through the wellness
Mhm.
group.
Oh, amazing. Amazing
Yeah.
guest. We all have to be
I
there.
met him through the wellness group, and uh, Hallelujah got us on. He was one of the guys that was going through the initiation process, and he
Yes.
said he does tarot, and we hooked up right there. And I said, "Listen, would you like to
Wow.
be?"
Amazing. From Man Heal Thyself?
Yes, yes, yes. That's where he's from,
Wow.
and he is too excited to be our guest on Wednesday the
Well,
26th.
our whole community has to come out to that. I know some of the sacred women are there now. Man, heal thyself, wellness warriors, all those who are in the Emerald Green, heal thyself. We'll all be there for all of your sessions because it's really
Thank you, thank
so
you.
powerful already. Did you just launch this? Is this a new launching?
What's
Or you,
this?
this what we're doing? I mean, I'm
No,
here.
no, no. Actually, I think this is about the 40th, 46th, 47th show. I wasn't even aware. I just got
Wow.
into it. I wasn't counting. But let me remind people, which I forgot, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, I tell people this. It's nice to have those numbers. I'm into the metaphysical numbers that guide
Yes.
you to put you in the right place at the right time. And I say this, if you
Mhm.
like it, genuinely like it, then share it. Okay,
Mhm.
if you don't, just to say I like, just to do that. No, I'd rather have a quality number than a number of quantity, and it's really
Mhm.
kind of fluffed and superficial. And subscribe if you really think this is nothing else. Definitely subscribe to Queen of Four. Follow her. She's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook under Queen of Four, and make sure you support this sister to the nines. Okay, because we got a history, girl, as you women like to say. All right.
It's a wellness history. Thank you so much.
Queen of Four,
Thank
thank
you,
you. I
Lord.
love you so much. Thank you,
Love
thank you,
you.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
And
Continue empowerment.
but I got some plans for you for in another couple of months. Okay, I'll tell you
Okay,
about it
I'm there
too.
for you. Oh, you just
Okay,
call.
good.
Be back.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. This has been a most wonderful, wonderful experience.